So, welcome back, everyone, for season 2 of Breaking Barriers, a mental health discussion. As previously mentioned, my name is Chetina Hunter, and I am the host of this podcast. And I am super excited about the lovely, just wonderful, magnificent guest that I got for y'all today. Her name is Miss Shynell Blanson, and I am going to let her introduce herself. So, Shynell, let the people know just, a little bit about you, who you are, where you come from, what you do, and all that jazz.
Period. My name is Shynell Blanson. I'm from Oakland, California. I graduated from Cal State LA. Oakland School for the Arts. That's how me and Chetina know each other. Oakland School for the Arts. I'm a mother of 2, and I make a living doing hair. And I love doing music also.
See, she just said she loved doing music also, like it's a little sprinkle or something. No, she can blow. She out here tripping. And she can do some hair because she stayed doing little braids in my hair in high school and whatnot.
Yeah.
She definitely can sing, so we got to make sure that she highlights that.
Yeah.
So that y'all can know the multi-talented person that she is. And I'm super excited just to have her because, like she said, we've known each other forever, like since the age of like 15 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's been a very long time because we definitely both went to an art school and we were in choir together and we also danced together. So that's what I'm talking about. She's trying to sit here and cut herself short, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it. So today we are going to be talking about body positivity, which I feel is just a very important subject to talk about, especially because, the pandemic, people were talking about pandemic weight, like just all these different things. People happen to be like more in the house, maybe staring at themselves in the mirrors more, maybe becoming more aware of things that necessarily didn't bother them before because their mind was focused on everything else that they had to do. And, I just want to make sure we can shed some light and let people know, like, we got to love our bodies, love ourselves, no matter how it's looking, knowing that we have to dig deep within and appreciate it because our body is working hard for us 24/7. So giving it a little love to make things easier is definitely helpful. So I know when it comes to Shynell, I do have some like memories in high school to where Shynell like would say things of like wanting to be a little bit skinnier. Then she had a period where she did go through major weight loss journey when she was in college. And then after becoming the mother of 2 beautiful children, it seemed like she really got into a period, like you really got into a period. I don't know why I'm talking about you in third person, but you really got into a period to where I just saw you blossoming over Instagram more and accepting more of just who you are and just loving yourself more as that instead of trying to maybe fit into a frame or a box of what you thought you needed to. So I'm a little bit curious just about like, what do you feel like your journey has been like from a young age all the way up until now when it comes to weight, body acceptance, body positivity, and so forth?
It's been a very long journey. I'm actually still on it. I have moments where I go in and out of being self-conscious about my body, but I didn't start really caring about weight and all of that extra stuff until I got in high school, honestly. Sometimes you get too involved in how other people around you look.
Right.
And that definitely happened to me, especially when we started like dancing. I don't know, I just always would feel like the bigger person. I don't know like why, because I wasn't like huge at all. But when you grow up, you see things that kind of change your perspective a little bit, and you kind of start thinking, dang, well, maybe I'm not as skinny as I thought I was. So when I went to college, I literally I started working out because it only amplified when I got to college. More, of course, we're more mature in college. You got the football players and all the stuff.
All the extra thing.
Yeah, and we went to art school, so we didn't have no
football teams. We had no sports teams, y'all.
Right,
the arts.
So it wasn't the cliche it just wasn't like that. So I already was like kind of looking at myself in high school. But then when I got to college and it became like all the extra worries and everything else, like I just kind of kicked into working out. Like it wasn't really, I didn't do it unhealthily. I just like really worked out like all the time. And I was like obsessed with it. I was like, I can't be fat. I can't be fat. I can't be fat. Like I used to always say, when I have kids, I'm going to do yoga and that way I'm going to stay skinny and blah, 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 blah. But that's just like not always the truth. So then I had my first daughter in 2014. And when I had her, it wasn't until she was like 1 that I went into like this depression about the weight that I had gained. And it's crazy because you see things that people around you just don't see. So like, I thought I was huge, like after I had her. But when I look back at those pictures now, I was nowhere near. No, I was nowhere near as, voluptuous as I am now. And so it got to the point where I was just like, you keep looking back at all of these, you keep looking back at how you used to look and then having this realization that it was in your head then. So I just kind of start feeling like it's in my head now. Like I look fine and this is where my body is. I had my second baby. When you have a baby, like I just feel like the snapback thing that like a lot of these celebrities have going on and all of that, it's not realistic for me, at least, because like everybody's body is different. And I definitely didn't have that snapback that everybody else had. Like I had a few extra curves, a little guts, like whatever. I had 2 kids and every day I'm constantly trying to work on being healthy. So it became, so like it switched from being skinny to like being healthy. Like, I want to be smaller. I want to look better in my clothes. I want to fit everything like I used to, but I want to live long also, for my kids. So that is becoming right now, like my main focus, but I'm still battling with it. Like, I'm still battling with it, but I'm not real. I'm not quitting on it. So like, I'm cute to me. I'm cute to my man. I'm cute to my kids. You feel me? So it's whatever.
Yeah, and that's really important. And I love the language that you said. Instead of being like, oh, I'm fat, you were like all these voluptuous curves. Because the words that we feed ourselves plays a big part too, in how you're defining your journey, how you're defining how you look, rather than going with the words that society tries to place on people.
Exactly.
And I think it's really great also that you said, like, it's a shift of a mindset of like, okay, I'm not trying to like lose weight to be skinny, or everything isn't just about losing weight. You just want to get to a place where you feel comfortable, you feel happy, and you're healthy overall. And that's something that's just, I think it takes a long time to get there. And it's also great that you highlighted like, okay, you're still on the journey. So it's not like you just popped up and just like got there and then it's like now you're done. It's a constant decision for you to choose to keep on moving in that direction. And I did hear you say, like, of course, growing up, because I feel like high school just did a doozy on us all in just different ways when it comes to confidence, in just different categories of our life. But do you feel like, there was something that kind of framed your way of thinking in regards to going from high school to college until now, even whether it's something that you felt internally, whether it was all just peer influences, or even like in the home? Because I know in the home, we can hear a lot of things too, like you gained a little weight, or you need to lay off the tips, or you need to do something because something ain't right.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Because I was going to say that, like, every time I would come home from college, like, my family would literally ask me, like, are you doing drugs? Because they thought I was just like, so I'm just like, y'all talk about me when I'm a little, like, when I'm, I guess, chubbier to y'all. And y'all talk about me when I'm skinnier. So, like, either way, it's just like, I can't win with y'all. So I'm just going to win with me. But, like, I wanted to be a singer. And so you see how successful singers look. Very few of them are curvy. So like that framed a lot of how I thought I was supposed to look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's newer now, but like the stand, because people are like pushing it more, like Lizzo. So it's like, you know, a lot more newer in your face, like we don't care, we're unapologetically ourselves type of thing. Where 10 years ago, like that wasn't a factor. And there are a few more artists that I feel like, even for me, like I love me some Ari Lennox. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit upset at her when she lost weight. I know that's super selfish because she did it for her, but I felt some type of way because I was like, Ari Lennox, you know, when I saw her, I was like, she got her little pooch like me. Like she doing it, she a little bit thick. She girl, she black with her natural hair. And I'm like, you don't went and lost weight on a girl. Like, what I'm supposed to do that? So I felt some type of way.
Yeah.
But you know, it's so important to be able to see people that aren't looking just so perfect in our face all the time. And like you said, you wanted to be a singer. Yeah. And I know like that had to play a huge just doozy on you trying to keep, it's not like a keeping up with the Joneses, but it's just like
not being counted out.
Sound a certain way, look a certain way, do a certain this, especially when we're dancing together, like having to make sure you got enough energy, you got the breath, you got the wind. And then so how do you feel like even that has like transformed, even with it sounding like you said, your focus is more on like making a living doing hair. So like, how do you feel like it's transformed for you, just those ideas that you have picked up with weight and trying to be a singer?
Well, I guess I kind of stopped looking at it as like a competition and more of it being something that I do that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that kind of helps. Like, I mean, I know that I'm talented, so how I look shouldn't really be anybody's business. I feel like, I don't know, like, I mean, it's crazy because it's not really about the talent anymore.
It isn't.
But in my head, it is. So that kind of helped a lot. Like, I don't know, that played a big part in the shift. Just not thinking of it so much as something that just is just like a business, and just, you know, and think of it more as like, it makes me happy. I like to do it. I feel good when I do it. I touch other people when I do it. And I just kind of hone in on that. Yeah.
I think that's important too. Just like I said, it's all about that mind shift, because I mean, the messages that we hear growing up, of course, comes a lot from other people. I feel like when we're little, because like you said, when you were in, it didn't hit until high school, because more opinions are on you. So when like we're younger, it seems much more like we don't care too much, unless we really just have people raining on our parade about how we look. It doesn't seem like we're so into that until we start hitting much more into puberty, much more trying to like boys, much more trying to like, you know, compare ourselves to other girls. If we are front and center performers, we know people are always like looking at us. So it's so interesting just how like messages you can receive as you go throughout your journey. Even like you said, with your family being like, well, are you on drugs? Like, how you get this skinny? Like, what do we need
like,
to
how do you say some toxic?
Toxic. It's always an opinion about if you're skinny, if you're bigger. I know, because let me tell y'all, like, I know I was skinny in high school, but I didn't know that I was skinty. Like when I was in the mirror, I thought I had a little bit of booty. You know, I thought I had, and then I saw
you was cute.
I thought I was cute, but like I saw a picture from the side, and I was like, girl, you didn't have no curves. Like, what is really going on? But you know, the interesting thing about it is, I remember there was this performance that we had, and I know you remember because we got the picture. There was a performance that we had, y'all, where we did Great America, and we were dancing. And Shynell and I was kind of like punk rocked out in our little outfit.
In our red and black.
Right. And then so I had wore like this little kind of like overalls, but it was like a skirt short situation because we had the fishnets going on and all this. And I remember I had like a little cut off top, because I remember like in dance, they used to kind of like make me, maybe I dressed a little childish. I was kind of on the younger side than some of the other dancers. So I need to be a little tad bit more sexy. So I remember this time I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to wear the shirt underneath the little crop top thing, so you could see my stomach on the side. And even though I was really skinny then and I had no stomach like I do now, I still was very self-conscious. Like it's the most weirdest thing when I think about it. It's like I would like look at myself and be like, oh, like I think I need a little more meat on my bones because you can probably see my ribs just a little bit. And I wasn't underweight. I probably didn't hit like 100 pounds until senior year over winter break. And that's because I went to Atlanta and ate some good old food. So that's when I went over 100 pounds. Before then, I was like 90 something. But it's interesting to like have, at that time, we were like super close, super best friends. So it was like, you're going through this experience of being like, I need to be skinnier and I need to do this. And you looked fine. I was going through this experience, and mind you, we clearly never talked about it because I'm just now knowing this. Yeah. So I'm going through my experience where I'm skinny, but I'm also like, I don't have voluptuous curves like some of the girls. And then my stomach is so flat that I was nervous and scared to even show my stomach. And I had not a stomach fat in sight. And then I'm just like, wow, like your mind can really do a doozy on you to where no matter how you're looking, it's like you never feel like you're good enough.
Right.
And I don't know. What are your thoughts just on that? Just that feeling like you're good enough? Because you have a daughter.
Yes.
And a son. Like, so it's like body positivity works both ways.
And it's crazy. I talk to their dad about it all the time, especially like her being chocolate. That's a whole nother.
Right. We're going to say that for another episode.
That's a whole nother thing. But I don't know. I just kind of, she's like really a motivation to like, I don't want to ever show her my insecurities because it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's literally just all in your mind. And so like, she definitely helped a lot with me, like having to focus on what's real and what's just in my head, what tricks my head is playing on me. And I really, really, really had to hone in on that because your kids definitely see when you don't feel good about yourself. So I don't know if I'm getting off track. I forgot what the
No, you're fine. You're fine. Just in regards to what, you know, you having kids and how that plays a part.
It plays a major part because I don't want her to, I mean, I know she's probably gonna grow up and not like every single thing about herself, but she might, like, you feel me? Like she could. And I just kind of wanna feed that for her. So in doing that, it helps me to look at myself and be like, are you nurturing yourself the way that you are nurturing your daughter, the way that you want her to feel nurtured? And then with my son, like, I don't want him to grow up to be some shallow dude who just is like, you're not skinny enough, or you're not thick enough, or you're light skin, or you're dark skin. Like, I don't want him to be that. So they both really help me keep things in perspective, and it's really important how you raise your kids. Everybody knows that. So it's not really something that I can slack off on, and that really really helps me to just keep in my head. It'd be hard, don't get me wrong, it'd be hard, and dad will tell you, because I'll sit there and talk his ear off about the things that I don't like about myself, blah 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 blah, but I'm always trying to make sure that they don't hear it. You know what I mean? Because I need them to love themselves. For sure.
And the love is there. As y'all can see, he kissing on his mama. He thinks she's beautiful. And that's that's already a representation, you know, for him, of just loving someone authentically because they love him back.
Yes.
And do you feel, because I mean, like, men also experience like eating disorders and body dysmorphia, and like basically seeing their body as something different than what it presents itself to be. And really feeling like, you know, fat, and feeling like they can't love, you know, their curves and things of that nature. Do you think it differs, you know, from just the messages that you say? Because I know, like, for your son, it's like, okay, how he grows up and if he objectifies women, how he views women and what he can do. And for your daughter, just feeling very empowered. Do you feel like just society has a different way of how they hold the standard for men as well as for women, girls, as well as for boys? And then we have, like, you know, gender neutral people. So that sometimes the society just misses that whole population, but just the message that's being fed to people in regards to just body acceptance and what's more important for one side to consider than the other side.
I think that it is separate, different, but at the same time the same, as far as like expectations, you know, like men get made fun of for being a little chubbier. They definitely do. And I know that it definitely makes them feel like insecure, and they don't just get it from men, they get it from women too. Like, you know, it's probably different in a sense that, well, I don't want to sound, I mean, I don't know how it's really different, to be honest with you. It's not really different. I mean, like, it's just that society makes us think it's different, but it's not different. Men get insecure. Women, we might come off as a little bit more sensitive because men are raised to be strong and don't cry and don't do this and that. Right. And just don't complain about it. Just do it. Like, I mean, we might be a lot more vocal, but I know for a fact that men go through the same exact thing. And I think that it sucks that we don't realize that as a society, as a world, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's sad for men, to be honest, because what I will say about us is that we have like a little bit more of a safe place to express, you know, what we're dealing with, what we're going through. But if a man does it, then it's kind of like, you're sensitive, you're gay, like the stupid stuff, the ignorant stuff that people like to say, you know what I mean? So I don't want to say that it's harder for men, because women, we go through a lot of, I almost cussed, we go through a lot. We go through like a lot. But imagine not really being able to express that without the backlash and the criticism of being sensitive or whatever they're not allowed, men are not allowed to be to this world. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. And, you know, I do think that they do have a harder time, because women, even when you go to a psychology class, like, women are taught, like, okay, it's talked about women are more emotional. And, you know, even with becoming a therapist, it was like 9 out of 10 is a higher woman population because they're more nurturing and just all these different things. And so it makes it easier to just have the space to talk, even though there's a lot of different just stereotypes that go against women, and a lot of, like, society is fat phobic and things of that nature. And then, you know, even with, like, you know, mom body, because women have to birth the babies, and then all the transformations that happen with that, it's a hard thing to just kind of be able to express and talk about. Even at the same time, you know, when it comes to men, just being able to just know that you're right, they don't really have this space. I feel like a lot of different mental health therapists and communities are trying to make the space more for people to be able to, like, talk and express. I've also seen a couple of books that have come out. And it's even like, when I think of just people that are gender neutral, or people that identify as women but are more masculine, and men that do identify as men but are more feminine, like, that even gets confusing for them, because just like society is already confused just in how it portrays for a woman is supposed to be this. This is what you mean to be feminine. A man is supposed to be this. This is what you mean to be masculine. But when you are somewhere like in the middle, and you're like, well, how do I kind of balance both of those out? And there's no clarity. It's hard to even figure out what that is. So then you sometimes, like, people will sometimes go towards what they've seen, and then kind of as a result, they have to take on just whatever it is that like, if you're a woman and you're more masculine, then you dress up more masculine and you present as more masculine, and then you take on more of, like, you know, what the male population is being taught and what those stereotypes are, and vice versa. So I just feel like I agree with what you're saying in regards to, like, okay, everyone is kind of dealing with something, and there's a lot of ignorance that comes with it. And at the bottom line is, people just need to be healthy, and people just need to be accepted. And, you know, we're already in society where, like, shoot, we're taught to go to freaking McDonald's for like 10 burgers and 3 nuggets and like 55 sauces for $2. And then if we go to like Panera Bread, then our meal is like
super expensive, right?
So we're not taught at all that healthy options are the way to be able to go. In addition to, it shouldn't even be that when you decide to eat healthy, that's considered a diet. Right. Like, I'm confused. So I'm just like, I'm not understanding. So even with your options of what you're saying, like, okay, at first, like, you were exercising, not like you were going in an unhealthy way. You were just doing it a lot in the beginning, exercising, eating healthy. I know you would definitely track your journey on Instagram. And then what you're doing now, I do see you eating healthier options. I do see you exercising. But since the lens is different of you just want to be healthy, what are some things that you feel like you do different now in how you're taking care of yourself versus what you did back then?
Well, back then it was really eat, sleep, and breathe exercise. When I was in college, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it every day, and I was doing it, and I was running, and it was just like all about. I even was about to join the track team just to make sure that I didn't have any choice. I was obsessed. But now I do what I can. You know, I do what I can. I mean, I'm more focused on trying to create healthier eating habits. I work out like 3 days a week, but like I'm focused more on like eating because I don't want to like eat myself to death. Like I try to, like right now, I've like eliminated sugar. I've eliminated flour. It's hard. And you know how you said it's crazy that it's considered a diet, but I feel like I feel like I'm definitely dieting because I really want a burger. Back when I was like working out all the time, I felt like I knew that I can like go to In-N-Out every once in a while and I will be fine. But like right now, I'm like really strict on like not doing the processed foods and the fast food and it's just really, really, really hard. But like I know that my body needed a break from sugar for a minute. So I'm like kind of detoxing from that. But basically I'm more educated on like eating my way to health. Right. I mean, not saying exercising isn't healthy. Like obviously it's healthy, but I want my body to be healthy like inside. Like I want it to like naturally be used to good food, like healthy foods. You know what I mean? I think that back then I was just more, my body was like, yeah, we work out. Like I know that we're gonna work out. But now I'm trying to implement, we eat healthy. Like, so that I think that's the difference. Like back then I didn't focus so much on like eating healthy because I just had a fast metabolism from working out. So I just, I knew that I would be okay with, some McDonald's every once in a while. Yeah. But now it ain't leaving so fast. So I kind of got to just kind of eliminate it for a minute. And my thought process is just, it's going to always be there. It's going to be there when you fast. It's going to be there when you're skinny. It's going to be there when you blah, blah, blah. It's going to be there when whatever. It's going to always be there. And so like later on down the line, if I feel like one day, I miss some McDonald's, then I'm just going to go get it. So I just feel like that's the difference. I'm a lot more focused on the food aspect of it because I love food. And so I love food too. It's sad. I be having cravings, but you know what? I want to teach myself that like you can do it, you can be disciplined, you can stick to something, you can be consistent, and it's just more of like self this time around. Like then it was like I felt like it was for everybody else. Like I'm working out because when I go home, I don't want everybody talking about you gained a lot of weight, or like I want the boys to see me and be like, "Oh, she got a nice body," or I'm a cheerleader and I need to look good in my costume. Like I mean, it was a different mindset. Now it's a whole new, better mindset for me, not so shallow. Yeah. A little more healthy.
And it's a journey. And I agree with you. Just it's my dad always says, because I love food. And it's so he always told me like, eat to live, don't live to eat. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to like internalize that message more. And it's more so like even with like exercise, I know when I would want to like lose some weight, or people like you need to lose weight, or because everyone was so used to me being skinty. Where now I'm not skinty, I'm not super big, but I'm not skinty. And then so it's like seeing me like this was new for my family, and seeing myself like this, I was like, I love it. I just would like a flatter stomach. But I know like even if your body frame is not used to a lot of weight, you can get more aches and pains, and it's just certain things that you have to watch because it's not used to carrying a certain amount of weight around. But like my focus, when I noticed if I really try and focus on exercising or something, I don't lose weight. But when I just start loving myself and just be like, whatever, like I don't care, I'm gonna just live, like, I'll lose the pounds. Like it's so interesting. And I noticed just like even with myself now, I'm more focused on just be active. Like I'm not trying to exercise for like an hour on end. I'm not trying to do this. I'm just like, Chetina, just remember to move. Like remember to walk, remember to stretch, because when we set goals like to a certain standard of how we think we're supposed to be caring for ourselves, how we think we're supposed to be exercising, how we think we're supposed to be eating, sometimes it sets the bar automatically too high. And then when we don't hit it for that, like we can have a bomb week and the next week we fall off and then we just like, oh crap. Like I
feel so bad. Yeah.
We just down on ourselves. And then, but if you just set like a more realistic goal, then it makes it easier for you to add on top of those things. Right. So when I just think just be active, it makes me more happy to be like, okay, I can go for a walk for 15, 30 minutes as long as I did that. And it doesn't have to feel like, no, you got to pick up some weights. You got to make sure you're running. You can't
pump iron. Yeah, I feel it.
I just don't have time. And then so it is just part of the journey. And I know I heard you say like, just that depression piece and like the mental health piece of what you experienced just along where your weight journey has been. And do you want to say a little bit more about like, you know, how that has maybe transformed? Like you said, sometimes you have your down days, like no day is going to be perfect, but just like, you know, what are the thoughts that you usually experience during that time and how do you help yourself kind of come out of that funk?
Man, and you know, it's crazy because you can sink into that for a second and not even realize you sunk into it until you're like, damn, I'm really sitting here like being toxic to myself.
Right.
So like, I don't know. I honestly feel like in those moments, I just be like, where are my kids? Where they at? Where they at? You know what I mean? And it instantly gets me out of like, you can't be no hypocrite. You like literally cannot tell them to do things like love themselves and all of this when you don't feel the same way about yourself. Like that's ridiculous. And that's lying to your kids. And I just, I really focus in on that. And it helps that my boyfriend is like right there. Cause I'm just like, I don't know, like, how can I put this? I care about what I think, but I really care about what he thinks too. And so like,
that's real.
He's very good with like reassuring me, you know, about like when I'm feeling real down and I start to like say stuff about myself that's not good and he hears me, he's always there to like come in and be like, wait, hold on, because that's not true. Because like, you know, what are you saying about me if you feel that about yourself? You know what I mean? And I honestly think that having a little tribe helps me out a lot because like I said, like they definitely like fuel me and they help me. And I don't know how I would pull myself out of it if it was just me having to pull myself out of it, because like, I mean, I've been depressed alone before and I've been depressed with my family and it's a lot easier with them around. You know what I mean? Having somebody that's constantly up in me all the time,
rooting for you.
Yes, that helps me a lot. That I guess that is the major way that I pull myself up out of it when I feel it. And it's just the fear of going back into that place where I was really just like, where I did not know how to pull myself out of it yet. And so I just really was like in it and felt like I was, anyway, like when I felt like I was doomed, like when I felt like this was going to be like forever, this is how I'm going to be for the rest of my life. Man, that was a scary place, but having somebody that you can really like express it to and feel that way with and have them pull you out of it, that would have to be my biggest aid to getting out of it when I feel myself slipping a little bit, you know? Yeah.
Right. It's like being your safe space. It kind of seems like he serves as like that little angel voice that's like on your shoulder to give you like a little bit more of a push to help you reframe thoughts at a time where maybe you're having more difficulty reframing your thoughts or reminding yourself how beautiful you are, reminding yourself of the positive qualities. And support is something that is just really important. I always encourage people like have a support team. If you don't have a support team always with you 24/7, like I'm always like, okay, get the people you care about the most and the people that pour into you in a positive way, have them send you voice memos or record something that's, you know, their voice on the phone. So when you're down and out or negative thoughts can be really hard to control. And like you said, you can find yourself, you done tripped up in it and didn't realize that now I'm in this hole. How am I gonna get out? So being able to like say, oh, like I have a message on my phone from someone who cares about me and just allowing that to pour into you. Or even like, I know you said it can be hard when you're by yourself and not really having messages. And usually I feel like that's when people gotta unfortunately fake it till they make it. But it's kind of like the more that you fill your environment with positive sayings, it does do something. Even if people don't believe it, it makes a huge difference what's in your environment and what you're feeding yourself, what's going into your subconscious brain. It will have an impact. So even doing things such as affirmations, putting them affirmations. I don't know if people watch Being Mary Jane, but I watched some seasons and that she would have them sticky notes and all this post-its everywhere. So putting things on your mirror, putting things on the background on your phone, having little reminders, your laptops, like whatever it is, I feel like that people need to just pour some love over their self when they're struggling could be something that's really helpful, because you know, sometimes people may not have the most supportive group of people in their life, and they have people that's just kind of kicking them when they're down. And so I always try to say, like, you know, that's when just like people setting up their environment can be great. Or even if like what we're looking at on social media, check your social media feed. If you're looking at stuff that's not filling you up, we have more control over social media than we really think. I feel like we
really, for real,
control us more. So it's like, delete those things, get rid of the people, like, you know, pay attention to what you're watching. What are you watching on TV? What music are you listening to? Like, if you're part of the skinny crew, like maybe you don't need to be listening to music that's always talk about Dahlia and Big Booty Judy. Like, I don't know, but it's just like really paying attention to what's being poured into you. And I do believe that when you have a support system that is saying positive things, I think it's so important for us to just accept those positive things. Because a lot of times we'll fight back and be like, but no, don't you see that stretch mark? But no, don't you see this? But no, I don't look like me today. But no. And it's like, no, like sit with it. Just say thank you. Like, I needed that. Let it sit, let it marinate, and try not to just push back against it. Do you feel like you ever have moments where like your partner say something and you in your mind you like, I don't know what he tripping, but but you know, you may still accept it, or do you feel like you give him some pushback, like, nah, that's not what I need to hear right now. I don't know what you're looking at, but that ain't it.
I definitely be having them moments, and I know it annoys them, but I mean, it is what it is. It's the reality. True. Sometimes you're gonna feel it, and sometimes you're gonna be like, nah, that's not that's not what I see. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Do you be having those moments?
I definitely, you know, like with my partner, with my lover, I stay all the time talking about my stomach, just because it's a new thing for me to even just have a stomach. And then so to have one over the last couple of years, like I said, I'm fine. And honestly, I'm not even a person that I don't want a six pack. I never have wanted a six pack.
Yeah.
I just want, like, when I suck my stomach in a little bit, I just want it to be there. Like, I feel like I'm bloated all the time because I'm eating things I'm not supposed to. Like, so it's just always just, I don't like the way that it looks, but I just want to shave a little pounds off it. But I know you can't do spot reduction. You got to kind of lose overall body weight, but I want to keep everything else.
Yes.
So I'm just kind of like, when I am looking in the mirror, or like, if he looks at me and I'll be like, oh my gosh, don't look at me because this, or I'm like, oh, I feel like, you know, no, my stomach is like this, or he just sees me in a light that's like, I'm the most beautiful creature that just walks the face of this earth, and he'll kiss my stomach for all he cares. Like, he doesn't see it. He sees it as more of an appreciative thing. Like, I have a stomach that's working for me. There's people in this world that have to have tubes in them or different things in order to be able to have, like, you know, their body work for them. Like, you know, I'm able-bodied for the most part. And then so just being appreciative, and him always saying, like, you know, it's not as bad as like you think it is. And just focus on like your health. Like, he's a super part of like, if you want to do this, I'll help you do this. If you want to do that, I'll help you do that. There's a lot of times where I'm like, I can't like hike, like this is hard, but he'll try to like keep me encouraged. Like, let's keep going. Let's try to do this. If you really want to, you can't just stay in the house. But anytime I feel like, like, I know I am now, right now, to be honest, y'all, like, I got a double chin.
Same.
And I feel like I've had it since like I was in high school. So I feel like it's a part of me, but like now it's like when I do certain things, you can really see it. And yesterday I was just really subconscious about it. And I'll be honest, I was looking at some celebrity from some show that got their face sculpted. And I was telling him, like, I'm gonna do face sculpting one day.
Are you talking about Housewives?
Yes.
I saw that.
I was like, I don't need the rest of it, but just suck this out, because I just can't do it. And
I definitely clicked the link. Like, how much?
Literally. And I'm just like, and he like thinks it's cute. So like he decided to tickle it to like make my mind go away from like being down in the dump about it, because it's like, it's noticeable to me, but he sees it as like, just embrace it. Like, it's fine. I think it's cute. I'm just going to play with you and make it more of like a lighter matter instead of you being down in the dump about it. So I do think that it's helpful. Like when we hear, like when we're negative or we're saying, having somebody right there to just be like, nah, like that's not it. Like you're very, very beautiful, because the world needs more of that. Even sometimes when I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about, I still feel like, I'm still just like, I appreciate somebody authentically and unconditionally loving me as I am. Like, you know, and I don't have kids yet, but even I'll joke around and be like, no, what about when I get this mom body and I'm probably gonna think you even more sexy. So it's just like things like that make such a huge difference.
Yes, they tend to think that you're more sexy after you have your baby. It's really crazy. And during, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And even for you, just like because of like, you know, you saying it's like you have a mom body and it's something to be appreciative, because I'm not about to lie to you. Like there's a population, I don't know about other cultures, but I know in the Black community, I haven't even heard like, you don't have any kids yet, so like your stomach like as if there should be no reason I have a stomach because I don't have any kids yet.
Right. And that's not like, that's so ignorant. It's so ignorant.
So it makes me think for people that like, you know, are moms, because like you said, that snapback is real. There's always celebrities posting like snapback this, snapback that, or they just had to, like, I'm always looking at Sierra and I just be like, well, goddamn, girl, like what the heck? And then so like, you know, for like people that, you know, are moms, and that's a huge transformation that you're doing for your body, having kids, you got to breastfeed, you know, people get stretch marks on their stomach. People have extra skin on their stomach because it's stretched. Like, you know, all these different things. Like, how do you feel like your love has grown for your body and all this provided not only for you, but for your kids, for your family? And do you feel like that's kind of added to your appreciation of self as well?
Yes. I mean, like, I was able to successfully house 2 people. Like that's something to be very like proud about, you know what I mean? So I kind of just learned how to be nicer to myself. Like, girl, you had not one kid, but 2, and they were C-sections. So literally like you had to get cut open, and like my boyfriend always be like, they put your organs over here and then they put them back. It was so crazy. So like I went through a lot. Like it's crazy. I saw something that said like people love your body when it's carrying, when it's a big belly and they think it's so cute and they want to rub it and they can appreciate it. But then as soon as, you know, you have those beautiful babies, all of a sudden your body ugly to people. Like it's just, it's ridiculous. So I know what I went through when I had my babies. And, you know, it's not as easy to lose weight when you've had C-sections in your stomach, especially. So like, I mean, it is what it is. It definitely has helped, because honestly, I just have this like, it is what it is mindset. Like I have moments where I'm like, dang, like I do want to go back to being like skinnier Shynell, but like, I mean, if that never happens, as long as I'm like healthy, I will be perfectly fine. Cause girl, I'm cute.
Yeah, period, too.
So I'm not really, you know, I'm not really worried about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's real. Just making sure like our internal voice, you know, even when we have the support system, it's really working on our internal voice, because I always say like your brain could be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's either going to pick you up or it's going to tear you down. And so really being able to build up just how we really view ourselves, no matter what's going on, no matter what stage of life we're in, because the reality is we all gonna change. I know celebrities, like even when we mentioned like the face sculpting, like they got the money to do all that. And that's like a good representation of there's things that they don't like about themselves either. Like there's things they want to change. There's things that they fear. We're all gonna get older. We're all gonna get wrinkles. We're all gonna sag in certain places. Our bodies is gonna change. You know, things aren't gonna look the way that they looked when we were younger. And that's just the reality of it. And, you know, because the world is just so warped to like, it's not even just valuing people that naturally look a certain way, but even like the Kylie Jenners, no shade to Kylie, but I'm just saying Kylie Jenner, Kim Kardashian, it's like a lot of what basically they have, like, you know, they paid for. And then so being able to kind of notice like, okay, they paid to look this particular way, Kim Kardashian, Kylie Jenner. And it's like, the everyday person can't necessarily do that. So it kind of is harmful to people when it's like, not only is society praising people that naturally look like that, but you also praising people that don't naturally look like that, and still making everybody else feel like they're left out. And then so it's just such a doozy of, and that's why I like who is it? I think it's like Tia Mari. I think like when she shared like her pregnancy journey and her like, I love when people are just so down to earth with things and just kind of be like, hey, yes, hey, it is what it is. Like, let me show you this. Let me take a picture of this. I'm embracing myself along the journey because all of us are going to go through it. We're just all going to handle it in different ways. Like nobody's body stays exactly the same. Even if you're the same weight, things are still gonna start looking a little bit different, whether it's how elastic your skin is, whether it's if you darker from suntan, blemishes, freckles, scars, whatever the case, everybody's body changes. And I kind of just wish that the world saw that. Yeah. Instead of everyone just needing to be perfect.
Very obvious. I don't know. I feel like the world is just a cruel place and they just choose not to. Honestly, and that really sucks. That's why it starts in your home, like, and that's why I'm trying to raise up my kids to not be so shallow and not be so materialistic and not be so like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And do you feel like there's any particular things that you say to yourself or that you say to Callie or Cash, or even that you say to your partner, you know, as just uplifting words, like things that you feel like you usually say to just uplift y'all in the way that y'all look and who y'all are? Because not only like it's body positivity a thing, but I know like you mentioned earlier in the conversation, like Callie is a chocolate little girl. So it's like all these layers that people have to face with not only like, you know, how the weight of your body, but also like, you know, if you're a Black person and, you know, if you're a person of color and just, you know, all these different, if you have access to even care for your body in the way that you need to care for it. So do you feel like there's just certain messages that you just say to yourself and to your family just to make sure that y'all are good and trying to be uplifted day to day?
Man, I just gassed her randomly, all of them. Randomly. You fine. You look good. You look cute. I love you. Like all of that helps, even for grown people, even for this man up in here. Like it works. Like I don't know, just random stuff. You look good. Like every day before my daughter go to school. Wow, you are just so cute. Look at you. Everybody's gonna love your hair. Everybody's gonna love your outfit. You just are so cute. You're so cool. Like I constantly have to tell, even my son, and it's crazy because like, he looks for it. He's only 2. Like he gets dressed, he'll walk in there to show you his outfit. Mommy, do I look cool? Like he looks for it. And I'm just like, yeah, you look cool. Like just reassuring and like letting him know like, yeah, you do look cool. Like I'm glad that that's his first mind. Like I know I look cool, but let me go see if my mom thinks so too. You know what I mean? So I just know that it's working. Like it's working even for my 2-year-old. Like random stuff. I just make sure that they know, like, be confident in whatever you do and whatever you have and however you look and whatever you choose to put on, however your hair is, whatever you got going on, like be confident, because I didn't always have that at all. Like so if you don't know, I'm gonna tell you, you look good today.
Yeah, that's real. And it starts in your home. Like, you know, I definitely agree. Even with my partner, I'll definitely be like, oh, you look fine. Ooh, let me stop looking at you right now because this is too much for me. So, so I'm just like all into that. And even with like, you know, our friends and like family members and people that are close to us, even when I hear them say things like they're down on themselves, I try to just be like, you're so beautiful, you're amazing, or even just go even beyond the looks. And I'm just like, think of all the wonderful things that you do. Like, you're such an amazing person. These are the beautiful qualities that you have. Like, really just kind of like reminding all of the different areas that make us into beautiful beings. even when I have like my clients, I will tell them like all of the great things about them so that they know, shoot, if ain't nobody else saying this to me, my therapist is saying this to me.
Right.
I'm let you know.
Right.
I'm gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like all of that is just very important. And I'm even just so like, I know like another quick question that I have is like, I have locks and I know your kids have locks and so does your partner have locks. And do you feel like anything has changed just in like, because I know we already know like how society and the world can view black hair. And so sometimes having locks can be viewed in a more negative way than positive. And so I'm curious if you feel like you've had to put anything extra on top of just the level of confidence, or if they ever get anything that they hear from other people about their hair because of going on the lock journey.
Well, the crazy thing is that my daughter asked for locks. She requested locks. I kept saying, you sure you want to do that? You sure you want to do that? Because once they lock up, like you can still style them, but it's not going to be no more like, you can't wear it straight, you can't wear it like, you know what I mean? It's going to be some things that you can't really achieve, right? Like, or whatever, like, you can do a million styles, but the straight hair that you like to do when mommy presses it or whatever, we ain't gonna be able to do that. And she's like, yep, I'm fine. That's what I want. So I really don't even have to. Everybody in here got locks by choice, except for my son. But everybody in here got locks by choice, so they know that their hair is amazing. Like even starting from them being tiny little shrivels, like, you know what I mean? Like I like that my boyfriend embraced the entire journey. Like his used to be so itty. Listen, we both went through that journey. Okay, because I was stressed in the beginning, but like now they're just so like beautiful and long, and just like it just adds to his like look, and it's
little swag.
Yeah. So it's just I kind of admire them being able to embrace the journey the way they have, and just knowing that like, yeah, it might be a little, it might be what it is now, but in the future it's gonna be this. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's crazy that my 6-year-old is able to
conceptualize that. Like,
yes, she knows. Like she looked at Holly and Chloe.
Yes.
That's what made her want her hair like that. And yeah, I admire them being so patient also, because I tried it and I might have had my little starter locks for 2 days and I was like,
this ain't it.
I can't. I'm ready for them to lock up and be where, like, be at that stage where they just so super cute. But like, I can't go through this part. Like, I don't know. I can't go through that part. But yeah, they got locks by choice, so they confident in their hair around here.
Yeah,
and I love to see it.
That's good, and that's a beautiful thing. And people are like, "Shynell, what the heck does hair have to do with body positivity?" Everything, because it's on your head and it goes with your whole look. And even like Shynell saying, it's like all these journeys. It's highlighting again. No matter what you're doing with how you look, it takes patience. It takes a choice from you. It takes building confidence. It takes not caring too much about what other people think. It takes like, you being able to be like, this is what I want. This is what I want to do, and focusing in on that. And being able to have some flexibility with what that journey is going to look like, but still appreciating it along the way. And then, so that's why I definitely wanted to pull out like, okay, how's the life journey? Because the hair world has its own, which I have an episode on that in season 1, but the hair journey has its own, like, things that come with stereotypes and how a person looks and what they're doing. It's just always something. That's what I'm talking about. This society
it's always
it needs to be thrown in the sink, washed up, laid out to dry. We just gonna start all over because it's just too much that's going on. But I was just a little bit curious about that. And I know, like, one of my ending questions is just more so like, when it comes to, if you could look back at younger Shynell, like even starting from high school, because at the pivotal point that things just began to change, like what do you feel like you would say to her and people that either have children that are in high school or younger age, or even people that need to say something to that younger version of themselves within themselves that's going through the same thing? What do you feel like you would say to her now that you've gotten to this point?
Man, I would probably say this ain't gonna last forever. You're definitely gonna get to a point where your happy about how you look in all aspects. You're gonna be fine. Damn, I would probably tell her you're gonna have a fine boyfriend, so don't even trip off these dudes. You're gonna have 2 beautiful kids. I don't know. Like, I would just tell her that everything is gonna be okay. So like really, because there was a lot of times when I was younger when I wasn't too sure if everything was gonna be okay. So like I would really just reassure myself that you're gonna be good. So don't even worry about it.
Yeah. Aw, that kind of gave me a little like heart warming thing to just hear you say that and hear you just kind of like reflect on your younger self and all that is that she endured and all that it is that she went through, and then you just getting to this point in your life, and like you said, like your future is bright, it's continuing to be bright, but even more so from 14, 15, 16-year-old Shynell, like let her know like things are going to get better, like things are going to be okay, like, you know, it's the only way is up from here, and continue to just figure it out, you know, from there, and also being able to just get to the point of, you know, you defining for yourself. Because I'm gonna tell y'all, Shynell was a little popular, like she's a little popular. So being able, that adds that's a whole nother conversation for another day, because that just adds, when you popular in school, like, and everybody love you and everybody, like, it just can add more eyes. Yes, a lot of pressure. It adds more eyes. Everybody looking at you, everybody want to be like you, everybody, and so
everybody always expecting you to be one way, and you just like, it's stressful. It's stressful.
So you being able to just kind of like get to this point and transform, because that comes, being popular comes with a lot of views, a lot of frames of, like you said, how you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to present yourself. And so getting to this point now is a beautiful thing to just hear you reassure, just because we still all have our younger self within us, that sometimes our younger self will come out a little bit, you know, show itself just a little bit, and we have to just kind of give the little gentle love and care. So that's such a beautiful thing to hear you just say that.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay.
And I miss you, girl.
Yeah, I miss you too. Period. Yes, and more yeses. Always love here, and I'm so happy and grateful and excited that you were able to, you know, just be on this episode.
We finally got it right.
Yes, I was thinking of like, what can we talk about? But I knew that I really admired you just embracing just yourself, and that meant a lot, you know, for me to be able to just see you shine in this particular way. And so I want you to be able to tell people, like, okay, you said that you got a hair business. Let the people know. Give your spiel. How can they contact you? Where you at? You know, how can people access you?
So follow me on my hair page at Nelly Hair. That is at NELLY Hair. Follow me there. That's where I do all my hair business. You can follow me on my personal page. I would love that too. That's at Watch Nelly. But don't come on my personal page trying to talk to me about hair after I just gave you my hair pain. Because that is my pet peeve. But you know what? I'm still nice. Follow my hair page if you want your hair done. I'm in LA. Or follow my personal page if you just want to be friends.
Yes. And y'all, like, she could do some hair. Like, listen, she just got better with time, okay? The skill was already there, and it's been there, but I look at videos and I'm like, she did that? Like, dang. So I think that is absolutely amazing. And like I say, y'all, you know, okay, so here's the thing. Y'all probably have heard her sing, and y'all ain't know that she was singing, because she on some records that y'all probably already know of in the background. I'm not gonna put her on too much blast, but I'm just saying, like, she is on some people's records, and people's records that be like in stores. I've heard it in stores, like, you know, I've also heard things on the radio. Like, I've heard she back there, you just don't know that it's her. You know, her and my partner also have some songs. They got let me be quiet, because he's gonna be mad if they got a fire old song. I'm trying to tell y'all, the talent is there, even more so to where, what was we playing the other day? We was, don't be mad at us, but we was going through a little Shynell moments, and we was listening to You Should Have Told Me You Were Alive, that it was long before I said goodbye. We were listening to that, and we've been listening to back in
That song
2012,
is so
no,
old.
when I thought I had you. We've been grooving
The
to that.
The songs that I never put out.
Listen, y'all, those are some hits, and we literally sit here and we're like, Shynell was before her time. Like, if Shynell came out now with this song, like, she's sleeping on her talent. Like, literally, you were like those songs. If we think of like what's coming out now, we're like, she was creating sounds that was before her time, and she's just as good as Seven Streeter, Ariana Grande, like, you know, all these Normani, like that sound, it's there, and we just be like, you know, we don't need her to.
I know. It's gonna come. I promise.
Yes.
It's gonna come.
As long as you don't give up on just all the loves, because you have the space to do everything that your heart desires and that you want to do. And I'm pretty sure that your partner supports you in being able to do those things too, because I know that you support him, because y'all, he a singer too. I'm not gonna put them on blast, but I'm just saying, just want y'all to give love and give support, because this is not only a platform to talk about mental health, but it also gives an opportunity for us to stay connected within the community, because we all have different things that we're doing that I love to be able to just highlight and put people on, put their businesses on, give people an opportunity to have resources, and make connections to people that's in the city near them, and even just see that there are people out there that are going through experiences that you're probably going through that you didn't even know. We're going through these things just because of, you know, what you may see or what you may think or assume this person is going through. So I really appreciate you just taking out the time, and I really appreciate y'all just sticking with me through another start of another season. Anything that y'all haven't been able to watch so far, go back, like watch. Like, I am giving, if people are listening to this podcast, if people are listening to any podcast feature that I've been on, I am giving out so much gold. I'm not even trying to hype myself up, but sometimes I listen to episodes and I'm like, girl, you're giving away heck information. But
so many gems.
Literally, I want people to have access, because I get it. Everybody can't afford therapy, and everybody can't afford to be in a mental health space. So I try to do something that's just a way to give back. That all you literally have to do is either get on YouTube or get on any type of podcast platform, platform, and just listen and find something that can help you think, feel, be, and live a little bit more lovely than what you're already doing. So y'all make sure that y'all continue looking for these episodes. Go to www.alwayslivelovely.com, tap in with me, stay tuned. We have a lot of lovely different topics and different things that's going on. And I may even, like, you know, I may bring people back from time to time, because there's lots that people can talk about. There's lots that we can do. I definitely don't want it to just be conversations now. The Always Lovely community said they want a variety of things. So I might have a little music mental health powwow. You know, my company, we don't know.
Yes.
That's why y'all gotta stick around. Y'all gotta stick around. All right. So I really enjoy you, and y'all just stay tuned. All right.